Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Paycheck. I'm Paula Christine. So we've been doing this a little over a year. So I asked Jon, my producer, to tell me what he's learned and some of the saving tips, if he's taken advantage of them and how he's implemented them into his life. So I'm going to put you on the hot seat there, Jon.
Yeah, I feel like you do that to me about once a month or so, Paula.
Well, I try to do it every time I talk to you, but...
Well, that's fair. Okay.
You deserve it.
I've got a list of 5 things that I've saved money on since we started doing the podcast. First one, real simple, bottled water. I love me some bottled water. I won't say the brand names, but the ones that are made by the soft drink companies are typically the ones that I will buy the most. But
okay, so don't think anybody can't figure that out.
Yeah, but I just didn't say it. Plausible deniability, Paula.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, so not buying bottles of water, using a filter at home, which if I could convince my parents to do one thing, it'd be that, because they still buy the bottles and have the plastic bottles delivered, and pretty sure they're killing the rainforest by themselves. But bottled water and just using the filtered one and the pitcher in my fridge, a lot of savings there.
You know what I did is for Mother's Day, my kids asked me what I wanted, and I happened to be watching this morning show on TV. We won't say what morning show, I guess. You know how they'll rate different things. So they were rating those, what are those things called? You know, where you put your water in it? Not thermos.
Oh yeah, like the Yetis and the.
So I was listening until they text me, what do you want? And I texted them that I wanted this one. And I'm telling you, I love it. I don't buy bottled water anymore. And I just use this thing.
On top of saving, I think it comes out to $360 a year, $1 bottle of water a day, or $1.50. It's way more than that now, I think. The other thing, too, is it's healthy. If you have this whole thing of water in front of you, you've got to force yourself to drink it. That reminds you to get your water in every day. Speaking of beverages, coffee. This has been a huge one for me. We've talked about this on the show before. I love my coffee. I am a caffeine addict. And if you go out to, whether it's a local coffee shop or one of the national brands, if you get a little something other than plain black coffee, you're talking $4, $5, $6 a shot, which is insane when you add that up. It comes out to like $1,300 a year. I did the math on that. I buy the coffee at Costco and I make it at home. I've got all the coffee accoutrements at home. My wife likes the coffee I make, and I can't tell you how much money that is saved by making it at home. I can make just about anything at home that you can buy in a fancy store.
Okay, so you won't name the bottle of water, but you'll name Costco.
Yeah, I'm not going to be consistent at all today.
Okay.
It's your show, so as long as you don't feel like we're getting sued, we'll just roll with it.
Oh, I think Costco's going to appreciate the fact that we mentioned Costco. I don't drink coffee, so I don't have that to relate to. That's not something I can cut back on. I've just never started drinking coffee, and I likely never will.
So the moral of the story is you have saved way more money than I have on coffee.
I wouldn't say that. I don't have other vices, so.
But when it comes to just coffee, your spend is 0, so you win this round.
Yeah, even though I do have a Keurig, there we go again, with little pods for when guests come over.
Oh, well, see, that's because you're such a great host.
I know, I am. I'm actually a wonderful host. Okay, enough about me. What's your next one?
This one has been big in the last few months in my house, and that's eating out because of no dinner plans. I love my wife very much. We've been married for coming up on 6 years next month.
She must be a saint.
It's so funny. My friends have nicknamed her Saint Ellen because she puts up with me.
I'm sure.
But the number one thing we get into an argument about is the stupidest thing. It's, what do you want for dinner tonight? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? You pick. Okay, I picked this. No, I don't like that. And it goes both ways. And we go back and forth with it. And so we end up saying, okay, well, you know what? We couldn't make a decision, or we didn't take chicken out of the freezer or beef out of the freezer or shrimp out of the freezer. So guess we got to run out and pick something up and go to XYZ fast food place or whatever 5 or 6 restaurants we rotate through. Good Lord, we've spent a lot of money on going out to eat. So planning our meals out and like on Sunday saying, okay, let's pick 4 or 5 things for the week and know what days we cook dinner, what days one of us is going to be out, that sort of stuff. I can't even quantify the amount of money we've saved by planning out our meals and eating at home.
Yeah, I want to say that I'm getting better at it, and I am, but it sucks being single and having to cook for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not so exciting. I tried the food delivery stuff.
Yep.
And that was good for a while. Then I got bored of that.
Us too.
Now I'm kind of just eating a lot of breakfast for dinner. It's just, I don't know. I'm trying not to eat out. And I have cut it down to once a week, which really has saved me money.
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, for the social aspect of it, going out once a week, we keep it to once a week. It's either Friday night or Saturday night, and we eat at home the rest of the weekend. That has been a big money saver.
Yeah, I know with my girlfriends, I texted them this week and I'm like, hey, doesn't this chicken thigh, well, it looks delicious, chicken thigh dinner look good? Come on over next week, we'll have it. So I'm still getting that social aspect, just not, going out.
Well, when you talk about it being hard to cook for one, I was single for a long time. I know how that is. If you invite people over, you can kind of kill two birds with one stone that way.
Yeah, it works out great. So I get the social aspect. And lots of times we'll just say, bring what's in your fridge and we'll just
potluck
it together and see what we come up with.
Absolutely.
So what number was that? 4?
That was 3 of 5. I got 2 more for you.
I don't know how to count today.
That's all right. Expedited shipping. We live in an instant gratification society, and we are so used to having things the second we want them. I mean, I have Amazon, and most stuff comes within a day or two when I order it. If I'm ordering something from a store or online, and it can't get here within a day or two, I used to think, no, I want this in a day or two. Like, all right, I'm ordering this last minute. I need it now. I'll pay the extra $10, $20, whatever it is for shipping. And when I stop to think about it, wow, there's a lot of money that can be saved by not paying for expedited shipping. And very similarly to that, some of my clients in my podcasting business pay me by PayPal or Venmo. Whenever you get money in your PayPal or your Venmo, you've probably seen this, and you go to transfer it to your bank, you can transfer it to your bank for free in 3 days or instantly for a fee of, 1, 2, 3%, whatever it is.
Oh, you can't wait 3 days?
I have started waiting 3 days because when you start adding that up times however many transactions,
I know, it's expensive.
that's probably how PayPal and Venmo make their money, is by people who don't want to wait, and they get that little 1, 2% every single time.
Yep. I don't do the expedited shipping. I wait.
Yeah, patience is a virtue and it will save you money.
I'm working on the patience.
Okay.
I was just laughing, me being patient. You know me well enough to know that.
After a year, that's fair.
Patience is not my virtue. Is that what it's supposed to be, or something like that?
Well, we can work on being more virtuous in year 2. How's that?
I don't think so, but I'll try.
All right. The last one, and this is more of a longer term thing for me. I've mentioned this on the show before. When I was in my 20s and 30s and I was single, I spent a lot of money on credit cards. I was living on credit cards because I wasn't making a lot of money when I was younger, and I was, traveling to visit friends and spending beyond my means. And the idea that I now pay my credit card off every single month in full, I don't get charged the dime in interest, and yes, I get the airline miles and I get all the benefits. But having that bill paid off every single month in full, if you don't do that, the interest is going to negate any benefits you get in terms of miles or perks or percentage back or any of that stuff. By paying it off in full, I can't tell you how much money I've saved. I couldn't even count that high.
Yeah, I do that. But, if you have like $1,000 balance on your credit card and just pay the monthly payments, you'll pay like $200 a year for interest.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I get it. We all get in that situation where things happen and we have to use our credit card and maybe can't pay it off that month. But you need to get it paid off as soon as possible.
That interest compounds. It's like a runaway freight train if you're not careful about it. So paying it off every month and finding the right card to get the right benefits. I've got one card that gets me, airline miles on one airline. I've got another card that offered me 6% back on groceries. So with what we spend on groceries every week, we're doing that. So there's a bunch of different ones that we use for different things, but we make sure that the balance is paid off every month, and each card, the perks are more than the annual fee if there is one.
And I was just checking on how many points to go to Portugal and Spain next year for my business class ticket today. So I got a little more ways to go, but I'm getting closer.
We are going to take my best friend and my goddaughter and his wife to Disney World in February. And so we've been socking away the airline miles so we can take them as our treat. So that's what we're saving up for.
Wow. Where are you going to take me?
I don't know. It depends on how many podcasts we do. How do you feel about doing 3 a week?
Our friendship is based on your revenue you generate for me?
Yes.
Wow, that's really kind.
All right, let's change the subject. Let me flip the tables around on you, Paula. I'm going to put you back in the hot seat. Give me a couple things that, for as long as we've been doing the show now, over 12 months, that you have changed with your spending habits that have made a difference for you.
So I'm very careful about my gym memberships because I, in the past, would join something and not necessarily use it the way that I was intending. And I think we all do that. We have the best intentions of going.
When you say use it not the way you're intending, you mean you go in January when you make the resolution and by February you're done?
Well, kind of. I'm a little bit better than that. But signing up with a trainer and, for 12 sessions and, you don't show up, you still get charged for it, that kind of stuff. So now I'm very diligent about showing up and making sure that whatever I'm going to spend on my gym memberships, that I actually follow through, which is huge health benefits for me. I mean, I'm stronger than I've ever been in my entire life.
I think that's really important too, because now you're getting two benefits. You're double motivated because you want to be healthy and you don't want to waste money. So I think that can be really helpful in terms of framing it that way.
I just signed up for yoga and I bought, 6 weeks for $100, which is really cheap for yoga. Mm-hmm. And I get to unlimited for those 6 weeks. So now I'm trying to figure out, I can't go every day, but if I could, I would. I mean, just trying to make sure I use that unlimited as much as I can.
Yeah, my wife has gotten really into yoga, doing just on the app on her phone. Just every day she does about a half hour of it, and it's mindset, it's flexibility, it's strength, it's all these things. It's one of the best things you can do for physical exercise.
I think my upper body strength has gotten, even though I was working out as a trainer, which I am not now. I'm doing yoga and just regular gym on my own, but I feel my upper body strength just in the month or so that I've been doing yoga is so much stronger than it was when I was doing weight training.
Yeah, and it's funny with that flexibility, you can do an exercise and say, oh, you know what, I really struggled with this a month ago, and now I have a much easier time with it. You can actually see that progress.
I know, it's crazy. I'm glad I started it. Now, likely when my 6 weeks is over, I'll go to an app and do it from home. I just wanted to be able to learn how to do the yoga correctly. And then once I know it, I can do it myself.
Form is so important, and I get confused because every pose is a different animal. There's cobra, there's dog, there's snake. I don't know. I'm trying to do what the instructors do it.
And then you end up all in a pretzel anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the other things that I thought long and hard about this one is streaming service.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I was on my daughter's Netflix. Of course, I got kicked off of that, but I wasn't the only one in the world doing it. But when you think about, you've got Netflix, Disney, Hulu, HBO, you just name a ton of them. But like Hulu for me right now, there's nothing on.
Yeah.
But yet I'm still paying for it. So I've decided in my head that, if there's 4 different streaming services out there that I like, they may not like to hear this, as I pay for one for 3 months, watch everything I need to watch or want to watch, cancel that, pay for the next one for 3 months, and then continue down the road. Because what do we mostly do when we're watching a series anyway? We binge watch it.
Right. I can totally vouch for that because my 2 favorite shows in the last probably year or 2 were Ted Lasso and Succession.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Ted Lasso was on Apple Plus, and I believe, and Succession was on HBO Max, or now just Max. And so when Succession ended, there goes HBO Max. When Ted Lasso ended, there goes Apple TV. And I think they rely on us to just forget about it. It's, $5-10 a month doesn't sound like a month. It's a lot, and you just keep paying it. But yeah, if you're watching right now, too bad, so sad. Cut that bill out of your monthly budget.
Okay. Did you cry at the end of Ted Lasso?
I didn't cry, but I was bummed. And I was like, okay, it seemed like they left it open. They could have done another season, but it seemed like it ended like just the way it was supposed to end. No spoilers for our listeners.
I know. I cried. I was just the whole emotion of it.
The best description I've ever heard of that show is relentless positivity. It's just a show that makes you feel good about yourself, like unlike anything else on TV.
That's how I live my life. Drives people nuts. Seriously. They're like, God, do you have to be always so positive? I'm like, yep, I do.
#believe.
Yes, correct. Okay. So, we were talking about eating out last. So my girlfriend and I started doing this. You get those huge amount of food, unless you go to a really expensive restaurant and you only really get a taste. But
yes.
A huge amount of food, you can't eat that. What we're doing is ordering appetizers instead of ordering a meal and then sharing the appetizers.
So the appetizers as your main course?
Correct.
Do you get side-eye from the server?
They don't care. As long as you tip them well, they don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you think about it, if there's 3 of us, maybe we're ordering 4 or 5 different appetizers. And, we're still having cocktails. So it's not like we're, they're not upset. They're still earning money. But we're not each ordering an entree, which we sometimes don't eat all of it.
Yeah, by the time you're done with the appetizer, the worst is, I'm guilty of this, is going to a Mexican restaurant when they give the chips and salsa and just housing the chips and salsa. And then my meal comes and I'm like, oh, I just ate like 8 pounds of chips. Don't think I'm going to finish this meal.
I know. I'm the same way when it comes to Mexican food. It's so delicious. I think it works, especially when you think about portion size and then trying to limit the amount that you do eat. And then with ordering the different appetizers, you get a variety and you get to try something that you normally wouldn't maybe try. I mean, I don't know, it works out quite a...
If there's a few of you and you're all ordering different apps, it's almost like you're eating family style at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it just works out really well. And then if you still want to order a dinner after that, you can, and then, either take it home or it works out well, but it's actually cut down a lot on food costs.
That's kind of like I was saying about the gym. You've got two benefits in one, because you've got the cost savings. Then it's also probably a little bit healthier when you think about all the junk that's in food when you get takeout or when you order stuff. If you're eating a little bit not that main course or less of that main course, it's probably a little healthier for you too.
Correct. And the last thing I think that I did is alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
These craft cocktails, which are yummy.
Yes.
But they're $15 to $20 a cocktail.
Right.
That's expensive. So you add on, if you had 2 plus your dinner, that's a ton of money.
When my wife and I were on a cruise a few months ago, for some reason, we both just kept ordering mojitos the whole cruise. And obviously, it's in the package or whatever. But we got home and she bought a mint plant and we bought a bottle of rum in Puerto Rico when we were on our cruise. And I've been making mojitos at home and it's been fantastic. I've got the recipe just about down.
Yeah, mojitos are yummy. What I do now is when I go out, we try to go to places that have like happy hour specials.
Yeah.
And then we do the happy hour and the appetizers. Or some restaurants will have maybe half off bottles of wine.
Sure.
And then share a bottle of wine. But if I don't have that, the least expensive thing that I've found is, I'm going to say a brand name out here, but Tito's. And I drink Tito's because I'm gluten-free. But Tito's and water. And 1, I cut back on my calories. And 2, I can drink 2 of those for the price of a glass of wine.
Wow, that is true. I'll just flat out say it. I'm a fan of Tito's as well.
Yeah. Tito's is good. Gluten-free.
There you go. Now, I think it's really been great to think about all these different practical things in life that maybe some of our listeners can take a few notes from this as well, Paula, that things that they can do to save money, just little things, because boy, do they add up.
They do. What'd be fun is to, maybe not fun, but don't change anything for 30 days. And carry around a notebook, and in that notebook, write all that down. So every time you stopped at Starbucks, you write that down. Every time you bought a bottle of water, you write that down. And then at the end of the month, total it all up and see how much you're spending on all the things that we just talked about.
Yeah, and an even easier way to do that if you don't want to carry a notebook around is put it all on the same card. And then you can just look at it right on the screen in front of you at the end of the month. And you can't fudge those numbers because they're black and white on the screen right in front of you. Oh, that's a big number. And then that gives you the baseline. And then from there, you start paring back and you really can see how much it saves. And it becomes addictive to start saving money. It adds up.
Yes. And take the money that you're saving to pay off any debt that you have. Or better yet, save for retirement.
Or both.
Or build your emergency account.
And if our listeners have any questions about how to do any of those things, Paula, how do they find you?
They can check out my website at paulachristine.com, or they can email me at paula@paulachristine.com.
I'm so good at segues.
You are, but you know what? We should segue to you. So if anybody wants an awesome producer for their podcast, how can they reach you?
I appreciate you asking. My website is Jag in Detroit, JAGIN, Detroit.com, and I'm on all social media platforms at Jag in Detroit. I can edit your podcast. I can record a podcast with you like I do with Paula, or if you're just looking for some consulting or questions about podcasting, I'm your guy.
Thank you, my guy.